you know. Good morning. Yeah, it just, you know what, y'all? I think that people, number one, I'll never understand why two things can't be true at the same time. I don't know why people have such a hard time with that concept, but it's super weird to me. Well, happy early birthday. Happy New Year. And I just get tired of it. I do. It's not, I have a full-time job. I have a family. Like, I have other things to worry about besides strangers on the internet. Hi, T. I missed it. Who, Snockers? Which one? Hi. So once I'm done with Victoria, I'm gonna take a step back. Oh, good morning. I've been back a bit, right? Like, I've been busy with Victoria. I'm waiting on a couple of things, so I'm kind of stalled with her at the moment. But thank you. I know that people also, I guess, despite the fact that I've said it a million times, I'm kind of just recapping at this point. I don't know why people are having a hard time understanding that. It's a recap, right? Like, I'm just going over how we got to where we're at now. There's things in what I've already posted that are, let me see how I want to word this. Right, and not everybody knows the history, right? What I will say is anytime that I'm not speaking, or if it's a call with a voice filter, or you see me taking quotes and turning it into talk, do you follow me? Those are people that are very close to her. And I'll leave it at that. Right, and there's a lot of people that didn't know. There's 3 episodes left. Those 3 episodes are lies, begging, and scamming. And the kids episode. The kids episode is going to take some mental preparing to do, because it's going to be really heavy. So I have to ease up with that one. I'm waiting for a few things that I do need. You want a box? I do need a couple of things, right? There's need for the begging and scamming. That there's one thing that's kind of
Hey, Velen.
hey.
Oh, I just wanted to say, you are doing a phenomenal job. Everything that you have done and said on your channel has been 100% proof. And I understand what you're saying about when you put quotes around the people that are close to her, because when I was heavily covering her, her mods would message me. So I don't think that there's anything that you've said that isn't true. Just because they are her friends doesn't mean that they aren't going to turn on her when she's wrong. I know that they have tried to speak to her. They've said they have, and that it's gone, it just goes through the window. You can tell in her lives when people are trying to talk in her box, she's like, "Husby, do you know where my Pepsi is?" She doesn't listen to anybody
at all. They're not friends. They're people closer than that.
Okay, I know her mods aren't exactly her friends, but you may know more than I do. I don't know. I'm not beyond the mod situation, so I'm glad that you are touching base with that.
And it's unfortunate, but I think that people are missing that the way that I'll backtrack a bit. I had the series structured, right? A day before I was going to start filming, a person that I wouldn't have normally reached out to me.
Right.
And so I stalled a bit, right? I did some restructuring because I got sick and I didn't want to do 10 episodes. So I started, Happy New Year. I started merging. I merged like the patterns and the narc tendency episodes into one. The last 3 episodes are content heavy. The kids episode just really, it's a lot, you know?
It is. And there's a lot more in that than I think has ever been revealed. There may be things that you don't know. I'm waiting to see like what yours post, because I know some stuff and I'm waiting to see if those same people have reached out to you. I hope that they have, because it's more than what was told that happened Thanksgiving 3 years ago. There's a lot more in between. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Victoria just posted a video. I saw it on the Reddit, saying something about her having an affair. It wasn't a hotel, babe. You were cleaning your ex's house. And you and your husband used to fight about it all the time.
The only thing that I'm going to say about the kids situation is that I don't know if this is 1,000% true, so don't quote me, but I was told that her husband was told that if he divorced her, that he could have the littles. And the fact that he didn't do that, if that's true, speaks volumes. They are not living a life right now that I see that they want those kids back. They love the freedom. They love being able to do all that. So everything she's doing is very true.
She doesn't want them back because she wants them.
Right.
It's not, and I do want people to understand that, number one, addiction is never going to be an excuse to abuse your children, ever. Right. And let's remember that it was before addiction too, right? So for the people in her Discord server that are talking about not judging addicts when they were actively using, what about before the addiction?
Yeah, because I didn't know that things were going on before she even came on TikTok. I actually discovered her when during COVID, when she started not sending out her cups. That's how far back I go. So anything before that you've been told, I am very interested to hear, because I heard it was happening before that.
It was, and it was him before her. If you follow me.
Yep.
He was physically abusive, and as her addiction came up, so did her abusive tendencies.
The holes in the wall aren't from the kids. They're not from the kids. And
good morning.
You know, she still goes into the bathroom a lot on her lives.
Who's gonna tell her that even the ones closest to her they say that they think she's still using sometimes?
I think she is. And I also think that she buys someone's pee, or she has one of her kids or somebody pee for her. I do not believe that she's peeing clean on her own.
I could go into the bathroom, use, and you could pass me a cup and I could pass it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on prescription medication and I just bring the bottle with me and say, this is what I'm on, but I'm not on anything that would trigger it. You know, like I'm on antidepressants. I'm on, Wellbutrin, stuff like that. I'm not on anything like MJ or any of the other stuff. I don't drink alcohol because you're not supposed to mix them with that. And that alone is an antidepressant. But the fact that it's been 3 years and you have all this money due in child support and you're not even making a dent. And then you say, court went well. It didn't. It didn't go well.
Yeah, she's trying on the back end to, hi Gina, she's trying on the back end to tell people things that I guess she thought that I would just take and run with. But I don't do that. I'm not going to say anything that I don't know to be a fact. Hi, Petty
Right.
Boss. So I'll wait it out. And when I have the actual answer, I said it the other day, it'll either go into the lies episode or the kids episode, one way or the other.
I just wanted to say you're doing a superior job, and you're doing it very tastefully, and it's very factual. And I like how if you don't know the answer, you don't just assume or anything.
And I've never really been that way. I you know, it really it's so weird to me how the internet, it's so strange how people can't understand that, like, this could be true and this could be true, right? People, I don't know why, and they don't necessarily, you know how many times I say I don't know? Like, if I don't have an answer, it's okay to say I don't know, but I don't know why other people have a hard time with that, but that's never gonna be me. I'm never gonna, it's okay to not know. You know?
She might have receipts, whoever that person was, but her receipts actually debunk her. And the receipts, I mean, okay, she has receipts, but we've got 15 to 20 mugshots. We've got, you still have ongoing cases. You've got a case next month with foster care. You've got a case next month.
I think that's, so hold on. I just want to add, you're already super mod here. I'm never gonna do that, right? And I know she thinks that, she's debunked things, but she hasn't. The only thing that she's done is prove that she doesn't understand, hi, Wildflower, what is being said. Like, do you follow me? Is that saying it correctly?
And nobody's, and I'm sure she's listening, Victoria, no one's coming after you. People are telling the truth on what you have lied about for years. And yes, we are going in the past, because what you've been doing is jumping into group after group after group, trying to make friends. And then they figure out that you're actually begging on the back end, or saying, oh yeah, I need that too, but we don't have the money for that. That is dry begging. You don't need to bring that up.
She made a video and said something about, maybe I'll go on a live and beg so that people could be right about one thing. I really think that she's like that out of touch with the self-awareness. Because
she's got more than ADHD. There's something else missing.
Right. It's crazy. But she is trying to do some manipulative shit on the back end. And it's really sad, because the lengths that she's going to in an attempt to find out who's giving me information is fucked up. And I know I can't explain it right now, but I will.
The way she says those people that you're talking to are whatever. How do you know who has been speaking? You know,
and maybe they lied to her, right? Maybe they told her they didn't, but they did.
You better check your circle. But no one will ever be able to do as much, as much as you're bringing out. The only person hurting Victoria is Victoria, because as a mother, I am disgusted at the fact that, well, number one, that she even had her kids taken, but they did need to be taken. And number two, why aren't you doing everything in your power to get them back? I mean, first it was CPS's fault, then it was the judge's fault. Whose fault is it now? Because it's 3 years.
What really bothers me is when she says, I wasn't convicted.
It doesn't mean you're not guilty.
Right. It does something to me, because I'm like, how could you just, and like, they tried, like, her kids tried to come to the internet to tell the truth.
Yep.
And you had them reported. Yep. You had them banned. That's like wild to me.
Yeah.
Like if you were in a place coming from like a healed place, that stuff you wouldn't shut it down. You would have to you would understand that you have to take it because that is what you did. They do.
Right.
Andy, you're right.
And I'm very proud of, I'm not going to name names, but the daughter that had the baby, where the incident of hitting someone took place. I am very proud of that daughter. She was able to get away underage and stay that way. The older one, I think, is still involved. I think the older son is still involved with them. The littles don't really have a say, but that one daughter that had the baby and was able to get away. And
the truth of it is, that one will be in a much better place with healing than the ones that allow her to come in, go out, come in, go out. Exactly, Jade. That's what I'm saying. Like, and she will be in a much better place because of that.
And from what I've heard, I haven't heard an update about her in a while, but the last time I heard, she and the baby were doing very well. Like, she had graduated high school, and I don't know what happened after that, but she's in a place where somebody cares about her and her baby.
I think that one's always had it a little different because I feel like she's always been the kind of scapegoat, right? Like she doesn't have the same dad. She's always been different, if you will. But I hope that becomes a strength for her. You follow me?
Yes, I do. I'm just very proud of her. And I hope the other ones that are with their dad are thriving. I didn't like that Victoria was questioning, the discipline that should go with something like taking away a boyfriend if you don't do something.
She did that.
She's like, oh, you can't have a boyfriend because you didn't do X, Y, Z. I guess maybe she was talking to the dad about it. And I'm like,
she would take their phones if they didn't clean the house. The older children raised the younger ones.
Right.
Not Victoria.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember that time that they went out for something, and I don't know if it was the girl that had the baby or the younger one that was left with the two littles, and there was no heat.
No food.
And the girl who had to go to bed with dog poop in her room.
Yeah, Victoria also lied about that, but that is facts. I verified that directly. There was a couple of questions, not a couple, but I had a list of questions that I, after like watching, and there were things that like I had questions of. I sent a list of questions and got a list of responses. So.
I was there the day that live happened and the kid said it. So you're going to tell me that a kid on live coming to you was lying? Like, my kid says, random stuff all the time. Like, I can't find this.
That's not something.
So he's lying?
But that's not something that a kid would say unless it was a thing, right?
Right.
But that's the responsible way to do it.
Right. And even without our kids, the other day she was door dashing on live and had a fever and was delivering food. That sent me, I was like, you're not changing at all. Like, when you change, it can't just be about that one part. Right. It needs to be... It's a way of being. It's not you change it in the moment. It's a way of being every day, just like your yoga breathing. It's an everyday practice. Did y'all see the
video of her correcting misinformation about Matt?
Yes.
I was like, pot kettle, like she spews more misinformation about addiction than probably anybody I've ever seen.
Right. And even the time that she called Lisa's clinic, like, why are you getting involved in another person's addiction when you aren't, just because you might be on the road to it, you are no way an expert
Not just
on
that,
Lisa.
but you were sending the dealer the money the week before you called.
And letting her use your Cash App. Come on now.
So, like, what? Anya, that's a good question. And I think that there's a Facebook group
Oh yeah.
that she was posted in frequently, and there are comments on that people say that she was using his, hi Tori,
Right.
she was using his license and doing it. But I didn't know you could DoorDash with a DUI.
I don't know, but I know that you know, she said she's working for some people, but then she was door dashing, and I just don't, you know, she's going out to eat.
Listen to me.
And,
I believe
you know,
nothing when I tell you that the amount of lies that I have seen come out of her mouth, I believe nothing she says. When I mean nothing, like if she told me the sky was blue, I would look outside and look.
right, because it would probably be gray from.
Right. Because there is no fucking way that, like, there's just too many. It's too many lies. There's too many.
Yeah, and I didn't know about the dishes in the closet. Like, when did that happen? Was that when the kids were there, or it's happening now?
That was when the kids were there. It was in the closet. The conditions of her home is lengthy in it's towards it's like kind of in the kids episode, because the condition.
Are we sure? Are you allowed to tell me?
Did I tell you what she was trying to do when we spoke that day?
No, but I didn't know that. I don't know for sure. Do you know, or are you allowed to say now, or are you going to, I guess, say it later and not say it now? Having visits with the two young boys.
Mm-hmm.
Are you allowed to say, or you won't say, or you'll expand on that later? Because
I'm going to expand on it later.
Because she acts like
I know.
they've been coming over. I haven't heard anything.
So she's been telling people that they're home for good.
But she's out door dashing, and you know for a fact that the two little boys are home, but the girl isn't.
I don't believe that they're home at all. I think they were there on a visit. That's
right.
What I believe. And she's trying to portray that as them being home, but I don't know for sure, which is why I'm holding off on the kids episode.
Right. And there's no way they're home with that house looking like what it did the other day when the camera fell, and you're asking for $1,000 cabinets again when you and your husband just fixed them, because I can tell in the video, the brown and then the beige, you fixed them. You have running water, you know.
I think that people have to understand that the reunification process is done that way for a reason, right? Like, it is done gradually over time, right? Especially if there's been 3 years since removal, right? So the two boys don't even live with the girl. It is done gradually, like test almost, if you will, right? Unsupervised overnights. Then it's unsupervised weekends. In New York, that is done by 3-month intervals.
Right.
I'm not sure about Kentucky, but there is no way you would go from unsupervised to home. It does not work that way.
Because the last thing that I heard, that someone had spoken to someone that knew about this, was that the children had been in foster care for quite some time, and they were not going to be adoptable due to some issues that they had because they were living with her originally. And the fact that happened, they were not adoptable. So the fact that they aren't adoptable would make them able to go back to her if she even did like the minimum, which I hope doesn't happen. We'll see.
I don't know. I have multiple. I'm trying to figure it out. Hi, Sagey. Happy New Year. I'm trying to figure it out through multiple ways. But as far as, like, you still have electrical cords hanging from your ceiling, right?
Right.
These are all things that would have had to have been fixed in order to be reunified, right? It's not how it goes. And you got to remember that those kids haven't lived together in 3 years. So that has to be done a certain way to make sure that the kids, like the kids are the priority. Okay.
Right.
You have to make sure that they're good with that. And the guardian ad litem does not like Victoria. They think that she's manipulative. She uses tears to cry, right? So these are all things that'll factor in. Do I think that the kids are there on a visit? Possibly. Do I know for sure? No.
Right. And the one thing that still sticks with me is when they were first removed was that one of the boys had to be taken and put in a facility and actually put on medication due to outbursts. And the concern was that she may not give him that medicine once he returns, which he needs. So I know that's a big
I think that Victoria would also be really so in one of the recordings that I played, she alluded that it was somebody that she used to be friends with and called them an idiot. Victoria, if you only fucking knew who that recording was and who you actually called an idiot.
Right. Yep. I mean, there are other people that I have spoken to that I think have spoken to you. I'm pretty sure one of them has, that knows a little bit more. And I think we all just, no one at this point is out for her. Everyone has always wanted what is best for those children because no child deserves to be treated like that. And I'm not sure I want to know the extent of what happened. I think I might cry because I have 2 older boys who are on the spectrum and I can't even imagine. I have a hard time yelling at them.
I didn't know I knew about the incident, like the removal incident, right? There was a live that I did a few weeks back and I was visibly different, right? Like it was apparent that there was something that I had just heard from somebody credible, right? That really I didn't know the depths of the abuse. And it's really hard for me to Happy New Year, Goose. It's really hard for me to the way that she invalidates, denies, just blatant fucking ignorance about the depths of what was done to the kids it infuriates me.
Well,
like,
of course.
It makes me, Charlie, sit. It makes me so mad that I can't see straight. Don't get on this app and pretend to be a good person. Don't say I wasn't convicted because it's more than one occasion. We're talking about consistent abuse and neglect.
And just because you weren't convicted it doesn't mean that the victim wasn't telling the truth. I mean, I think that she's trying to maybe paint her kid's testimony as, well, that's not how it was. They're a kid, blah, 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 blah. No, I believe your kids and I would believe my kids.
But it was not a one-time incident. Very, very far from a one-time incident.
Right. And you did not take accountability, Victoria. You did not. You say, I have righted my wrongs.
But she has not.
You are far from that. Have you gotten an apology? I mean,
she still gaslights and denies and justifies those things.
Right. Well, keep doing what you're doing. My husband is home early from work because he had to take my son to the airport at 3 a.m. So
hopefully somewhere warm because
Florida for umpire school.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
To become an umpire. So thank you so much for everything.
Oh, you're welcome.
And, I think you know what page you can find some stuff on.
Yeah, I got them all. I have everything that I need except for 2 different things.
Okay. Yeah. I think one person asked me for something and I didn't have it, but I told them where to find it.
Yeah, was it recent?
Like last week.
Yeah, something I thought I had, but when I went and looked, I didn't.
But I told them where to go to have it, but you might have to, I'll have to message you on my
Send me a
backup account.
DM just in case.
Yeah. And you know the Reddit, right? That,
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah. Like it, Crocs.
That'll give you a lot of stuff too. I'll
Yeah.
send you a few YouTube pages.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye guys. Thanks for
Good
letting me
day.
up. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's Chrissy, it's so windy here. It is so windy here. But that's one of the things, right, Giselle, hi, Cara, that's one of the things that really bothers me, right? And addiction is not an excuse for that. So like, let's just appease her and say that addiction is an excuse for abusing and neglecting your kids. Hi, right? What was the problem before the addiction? What was the issue then? Right? Because if addiction is an excuse, what was the issue before that? This was not a one-time incident. Listen, Molly, I'm gonna take a break when I'm done with her. Well, there's no, and it is, Wendy, it is, and that's what bothers me, is that it's like, how could this be okay in anybody's mind? It's just weird to me. It's weird to me. I'm an addict. That I've never abused or neglected my kids. Ever. Do you hear me? My children were not born addicted to substances. So I don't understand, right? And it's wrong. It's wrong. Christina, I tag a couple of them in my descriptions. I'm going to get to that. Maybe I'll do it today. I want to, cause my internet has been so fucked, y'all, that I didn't do like normally I'll put info in the description or on the playlist. But maybe I'll do that today because I was just having trouble getting them up. And so I just threw them up. I didn't elaborate, but maybe I'll do that today. Because unfortunately, until I have what I need for those 2 episodes, I'm gonna be kind of stuck. Listen, Stagey, don't talk to, do you know there was another one in that live? If there's another one after this live, I'm going to flip the fuck out. The good thing is I'm leaving soon. Somebody tagged it in the goddamn comments. Listen. Is there a time frame that I have for what? Oh, JC, I want to be done. I would have been done long ago. If I'm being honest, like I would have been done long ago. No, don't do it, Joni. Don't do it. I would have wanted to be done long ago. I got sick and that slowed me down. I kind of just have to wait for the stuff to come to me. You follow me? If I don't, one of the things, listen, Giselle, one of the things that I need for the begging and scamming episode, I can work around it. 1000%, I can work around it. But if I don't have it, it gives her wiggle room. You follow me? And I don't want her to have an inch. And you know what's crazy? This is what's crazy to me. Why not get it all out there? Does nobody think of that? Or is it just me? Right. I can do it without it. I can, but if I have it, there's no getting out of it. You hear me? And that's what I'm trying to do on the back end. Hi, Kathy. Right, Bertie. That's what I'm trying to do. So, listen, Molly, I agree. Right? Listen. There is nothing that could. And I think that, so I mentioned this yesterday in a live, right? How when you're doing this kind of thing, like on my end of the screen, you kind of have to be careful, right? Because people are gonna dig. That's that you can't prevent that. You just can't, right? So if you're gonna be on this app doing something similar to what I do, you got to be careful, because when people dig, you can't cry about it. Nikki, that's the thing. But I really, it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. You hear me? And I know that. And when I started hearing that from people that were in her real life, she's never going to say, I'm sorry. She's never going to take accountability. It kind of feels like, if I feel like it's a dead end, right? What am I wasting my time for? And I think that another thing that people don't necessarily understand is that I don't do this for Victoria. Okay. I do what I do for her victims, because they deserve it. You hear me? The people that she lied to, scammed, took advantage of, abused, neglected, that is who I speak for, with permission, right? It's an important thing to throw out there, because I think that some people are a little confused, right? Hi, Shadow Tuck. Hi, Carol. What's up, Carol? You ready to hop in a box? How's Shadow doing? I think that's no victim. I also think that that's, oh, good. I'm glad to hear it, though. He deserves a good life, you know? Thank you, Derlinda. I know. Shadow is the... Oh, you know who... Look at this. I'm going to show you my baby. He came up in my Facebook memories today. He's my boy. Hi. Thanks, guys. I love Shadow. I love Shadow. But I love all Chihuahuas. So, yeah, he was a good boy. He was a good boy. He was old. So, yeah, he was a good boy. He was obsessed with, like, I have a coffee problem, right? And whenever I would get coffee, he thought he'd get whipped cream, right? So he became a chunky, because if I'm going to Wawa 3-4 times a day, he's like, where's mine? You know? Yeah. So he got chunky, so he had to go on a diet. But he was a good boy. Listen, I like dogs better than people. I said what I said. It's never going to... A 20-pound Chihuahua. But you know what happened? He started having problems with his legs because he was too heavy for his little bones. But I know people get upset with that. But animals are better than people. Have y'all seen some of the scum on this app? Oh my, I took a picture of my cat before, and the way she's sleeping. It's so cute. Hold on, I'll show you. She sleeps with her hands over her eyes. Hold on. Look. She's like, no pictures. Listen, rescues, snorkers, best move. You can't, right? She's like, no photos, please. But she's a sassy bitch. She's mad. She misses my brother big time. She goes into his room. She misses him. Yeah, she puts her paws over her eyes. She's cute. Rescues, I feel like rescues appreciate you when you give them a good life. Hi, Ash. How's your grandfather? Yeah. And y'all, the truth of it is there are so many animals in the shelter. Stop it, Christina. Really? There's so many animals in the shelter systems. Okay. Yeah, and they do. They really do. You know what? My mom had one done of Shiloh, my Chihuahua, and my guinea pig, but they were in my apartment. So there's that. So many. I know. There's so many. I feel like, I don't know. And I said to my brother, because he's never lived without animals, he's always had pets. So when he was going to North Carolina, I said, what are you going to do? Because he talks to them, you know? So he said, I don't know, I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll get one. So listen, Finn, when I got Finn back from Florida, she was not herself. It took a bit for her to settle down and not be so anxious, you know? But I sleep, okay, listen to this. I sleep on a full bed with Charlie, the shepherd, on one side, the Chihuahua on the other side, and then my cat up above Papa, and then my mom's cat on the other pillow. I love Shadow. I've always loved Shadow though. Yeah, I can't, but I'm like, can I get like, can you move a little bit? Exactly, Snockers. Listen, I'll be honest, my sleep has been fucked because of this ghost shit. Do you hear me? Listen, Crystal, they have pet beds. They just want to sleep with me. You know what I'm saying? But I am closer to listen, I know. Thank you. I gotta figure I know that's right, Melissa. That's how it feels. That's how it feels. They're like, no, I don't want to do that, JC. I don't want to do that. What it's doing is making me leave sooner. Because I'm like, this is fucking weirding me out. It's strange to me. Right? I'm not asking, Lori. No attention. But I go to sleep at night and then I get up and it creeps into my mind and then I have trouble falling back asleep. You know? It's weird. I do, Jennifer. Apparently, send you a message looking for some help getting someone's kids? What do you mean? I'm telling you. It's like I'm their servant. You hear me? Black Widow, people picked up EVPs on my lives. But the last one was weird because it was my recording. Like it wasn't, it's just weird. I don't know. I do need a long vacation. Soon. Someone talks, someone, who? And this is, so I don't know if people noticed, I've kind of been, retreating, if you will. Send me an email, or do you have Facebook? Right. Hi, Jersey Fran. I've kind of been backing off a bit, right? So my public Facebook is Queen of Being Banned, and my public Instagram is your_favorite_villain. I actually just cleared those notifications, so I'm getting somewhere, y'all. I plan on doing my comments, and then I will. But I do this a lot though, and so September of 2023, I put this shit behind me, retired. I hung it up. I didn't want anything to do with it anymore, right? And when my mom died, Facebook is queen.of.being.banned. When my mom died, I started covering Jessica Kent as like a distraction, right? And I kind of just steamrolled right back into a place that I didn't want to be in. Because I it's so draining, y'all. It really is. And I don't, I, it becomes like I can't even go into a live because I just get bombarded with all kinds of questions, and it overpowers me, if you know what I mean, right? And I start to feel obligated, right? Like that account, I have 300 DMs in that account. 300 in my primary DMs. Right. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So I've been retreating more and more and more in an event to try to give myself more space, if you will. Hi, Josie. How are you?
But I had to shut my speaker off. You know why? Hello, how are you?
Good.
Because
How are you?
you're human. You're not
Yeah,
a
it's
robot.
just
Like
right.
you got seriously fucking sick. Like you went in,
Yeah.
like you. That's because you don't take care of yourself. You can't take
Yep.
care of everybody else if you don't take care of yourself.
Right. Exactly. And I really like, listen, if I said it before, the only reason why I was even doing the Victoria series is because I said I would. And I really don't like to go back on my word.
That's not your
So
style. That's
right.
that's not your
So
style.
I figure that I will do that, right? And you gotta remember, like, I get tired of the being drug into everything.
How about you get tired of your name being thrown every fucking which way,
Everywhere.
everywhere?
Everywhere.
Like no, and this is no insult. Please let me say something to you. You are treated like a goddess, but they don't
It's weird.
understand. Like the people get obsessed, and
Right.
I'm not saying you're one of the most talented people I've ever seen. You are such a hard worker, and I admire you so much. But
I give a talk.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Right. And I get to this place where I neglect my own because I feel obligated, right?
Of course.
And I just get, I don't know. I'm trying to find it for you. Give me 1 sec. I'll green screen it. But I know, but listen, the number one, there's always going to be more that I could say privately than I'm willing to say publicly. Because a lot of times my words, like I say one thing and for whatever reason, some people hear something totally different. I don't know why. Right. And it
This
doesn't
is my
matter how many
question.
times I say it. It always happens. What up, Jonas?
Why do they? I have a question. How much do you have to prove that someone's a scumbag that people don't believe it? That's what baffles me more. You have to show me one time, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. But come on, I'm sorry. That's where I struggle.
It's weird to me. It's so weird to me. Hold on, I'll get it and I'll show it here because Lorianne, you're right.
It is a crazy world, the internet. Hi,
I'm
Amber.
telling you. I'm
It's
telling you.
definitely.
It's right, nosy one, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not that I don't know how to explain it, but it's been bothering me more. And that, listen, Lisa, I get it. It's been a thing. Maybe like the past month or two. Like I stopped going into lives because I was just trying to ease back a bit. And I never wanted to come back to this stuff. And I allowed myself to get sucked back in, right? Because I knew that I was seeking a distraction, right? So I moved and I did it. And then I just fucking steamrolled into everything else. And I just, it's not what I want.
No. But the reason why everyone respects you is because of how you show and how you put the hard work into it. That's why people respect you. But, putting you on this pedestal, and then when something happens, people go fucking bonkers.
And listen, I tell people all the time, right? Like when people, they'll like start, they just found me and they start, I'm like, you won't like it here long, right? Because people are weird. The second that I say something, thanks, Wendy, that I don't even say, like we'll use Ronnie, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I never said that Ronnie taking money was acceptable.
Yeah.
Ever.
And you said someone accused you of defending the whole Richards family. I said, you listen to her speak? That was crazy to me.
Said that. I'm never going to say that. What I said was the lengths that people are going to are not right. And I'm not going to change my minds about that.
No.
I'm just not. What I said was, and that's another thing, like, I'm never going to say something unless I've seen it. I don't know about her text messages with this one, that one. I don't know anything about it.
But that release of that video was disgusting because there was, you want to show if it was a man and woman, I'm okay with that. But kids are fucking off limits. Disgusting human being.
And I think that, like, people get confused just because I say, right? Like, I'm not going to say things that I don't know, right? And just because I said Ronnie sent me her Cash App history and it doesn't scream scammer to me doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that I'm okay with what she did. It doesn't mean that I know that she did this. It just means literal. And I think that that's another thing that people don't understand. I use the words that I mean to say. So don't look for a hidden meaning. Right? You'll see me sometimes stop and try to think about the words that I want to use because the words that I use are the ones that I mean.
Right.
You're never going to have to look for something weird. And right, Sailing. And I think that people are confusing that, like my disdain for that type of situation with the other situation, which are two totally different situations.
It's so terrible because everyone thinks that one thing you say is linked to everything that it's happening, and that's so not true. So not true.
Exactly. And that too, right? I feel like that was too far, right? I'm never going to change my mind about it. I just think that was too far. I also think that it's weird that people, I'm friends with Jess. It is Jess that I'm friends with.
She's beautiful soul.
I spoke to Ronnie. I'm sorry, she texted me and I asked her for proof of something. I don't talk to her the way I talk to Jess.
No. I have messaged with Jess because she's a beautiful soul and she doesn't deserve any of this.
She really is. And I also never said that I had that video. I never said that either. So you also have to remember that what I say is the words that I mean to say. Never said taking money was okay because I don't agree with that.
Read the comment.
I will never agree with that. Okay. However, I think in this situation.
How are you? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. In this situation, I also think that when people are in a situation that is difficult, they do things they wouldn't normally do.
Never.
Right? And I think that Ronnie knew better. And she did. She knew better. I think that her influence was outside forces. Right?
Yes, and if you are they say the apple doesn't fall far from a tree. So if you were taught this from a young age, and the whole family suffers from something, it's a pattern. It's a and it should have been fixed, but it wasn't.
I think that I just think that certain things, so about a year ago, my ex teamed up with some people on TikTok and they ran a smear campaign, right? I'll just say it for what it was. And people knew, the people that would champion him, right? They knew that I was in an abusive situation, but they ignored that to platform him in an attempt to hurt me, right? I don't agree with it, right? And I kept that part of my life off the internet. There was only very close people around me that knew what was going on, because I didn't feel like it was everybody's business. At the time, he was trying to build a platform with gaming, and I knew the kind of damage that it would come with if I defended myself, right? But it got to a point where I had no choice.
Right.
So, and I didn't like being put in that position. I think that it's different. If you want to talk about the money, you could talk about the money without going that far. That's just my opinion.
He must have been about money, obviously. If that was he was throwing in your face.
Right. And
my mother-in-law was.
When I looked at her, all I said was, when I looked at her Cash App history, it doesn't scream scammer. That's all I said. And I did the math myself. So I know without a doubt that the numbers that are being thrown around, hi, Psycho Bunny, I meant to message you and I completely forgot. That's incorrect. Hi, Banky, how are you? Happy New Year.
Hi, Banky Banks.
I just feel like you could talk about the money. And listen, when I told Ronnie, hi, Christy, you're going to have to address it. I told her that, point blank. You're going to have to do it. But she has to make sure that she is in a safe position to do so. Right. Because when she was in the box, the day that it came up, they started contacting him, and it had some bad effects.
Well, that's nobody's, like, you know what's happening, and this is the most disgusting about it. If you are a scumbag, you deserve it to go real life. But if it's not about that, then no one should be going real life and trying to be nasty, and it shouldn't be.
It's the narrative that I have a problem with, because the truth is always, number one, the truth is always going to come out, right? Always. It doesn't, I don't know why people don't know that, right? But it is always going to come out. Ronnie was in the box. I don't know whose live it was, because I wasn't paying attention to it. Right. And then they started contacting him. So he started threatening her. So she stopped. When she understands that she will have to, because I asked her, I said, post receipts, comments off. That was the first time I messaged her. I said, I don't know what's going on. Post receipts, turn your comments off, take a break.
But you know what? I think it's on both sides. I could be wrong, but I think it can go both ways. I think it's split down the middle, and it's a toxic relationship. You know what I mean?
I agree. And I think that if you don't understand the patterns of abuse, because there are patterns, reactive abuse is real. And there comes a point in time where you start to push back. Period. Not the girl. I agree. Joni, exactly. So it's not, I think that it's I don't want to, but I think that the way that it was painted was wrong.
It shouldn't be known at all. It shouldn't have been ever taken that far, ever.
Corey, right. And that's how I feel, Kathy, right? You're right. Not the girl. You're absolutely right. And it's unfortunate, right? That's being, it's unfortunate. It's not necessary. We didn't have to go there. That's all I want to say about it. But it's not, it's not, Ronnie, it will be addressing it. So, but right now, she's got some things going on that has to come first. And people should understand that, because real life is always going to come before the internet.
Exactly. You have to.
Right.
It's like, you're going to fight for, your child, you're going to fight for what's good. And, and then if you can explain yourself, then, give someone a chance. If you can't explain yourself, then don't expect people to be around you and support you.
Period. And that's what I'm saying, Nosy, right? I think that people are confusing me stating what I know to be facts as defense. And that's just not the case.
Exactly, because you are not defending it. You are waiting to prove right or wrong. That's what you're waiting for.
That's it. It's not, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. And it's not that you're right, not the girl. And you know what the truth of it is? Because I was thinking about this. If she wasn't Lisa's sister, would it have gone as far as it did?
Hell to the no. Hell no. So see, some people are about clout and views and all that. See, you get that on your respect for everybody has for you. I could give a shit. My platform's
Right.
small villain. I could care. If it goes, it goes.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit, dude. I don't
And
care.
I think that people have this idea that people listen to me much more than they actually do. Because
Oh no,
believe
they
me,
listen.
yeah, but if I had the control that people think I have,
No.
they would, you know,
Yeah, no, you're not a cult where you can brainwash them. That's not
right.
who you are.
No, and I encourage. I don't listen. I saw a teammate of videos something about. I don't know who she was talking about, but being friends and having a different opinion. I don't know about y'all, but I have different opinions with people that are my really good fucking friends all the time.
My best friend is 44 years. We disagree on a lot. But she's
Right.
my sister from another mother. But I'm not going to like her. Not that, I respect you if you have your own opinion.
Facts.
Form
Facts.
your own. If you form your own because of somebody else, then I'm sorry.
And I will never listen. I never want that either. For on my end, right?
I agree.
just want to put the information out there so that people could make an informed consent about who they're supporting. I never want people to go harass people, do this, do that. I don't want that. I just want people to be aware, right? Of
You're one of the difference between me and you. You are so good with not handling no drama. Me, I want the last word. I want to fight
don't
you.
give a shit.
I know you're good. I'm
don't
my
give- but-
anger. Oh,
Let me tell you something. It took me listen, for the first year that I did this, everything that was said about me, I defended.
you did a lot of defending.
I feel like the first year I stayed defending myself, right? But now I don't give a shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, and listen, people are entitled to their opinions.
Oh, of course.
But I think that a lot of times the people that have like these really wrong opinions of me, they don't even know me like as a person.
Yeah.
They've never had a conversation with me. And I think that sometimes people get confused. Like, is this who I am as a person? Yes. But I'm more, what's the right word? I tend to
You're confident. That's a thing that everyone tries to be.
mediate. I tend to mediate, and that's another thing too. People get confused with me being able to have a conversation with somebody as me being their friend. Listen,
Right.
I have conversations with people I don't like all the fucking time.
That's how you're so good at what you're good.
All the time. Right. It's good because I'm good at with politics is what I'm good at.
Yes.
That's what it is that I can put this person on a call with this person so that they could work something out. I'm the middle person, right? And I have no problem doing that. But at the same time, when it gets twisted, that's what I have the problem with. I mean what I say, right? There's not going to be some alternate like reason that I'm saying something.
Listen, I'm 56 years old. I'm going to curse once. This is my new.
I curse.
After
My mouth
losing
is
my
awful.
Butch, this is true. I
how are you
don't
doing?
give a fuck. I don't
Okay.
care if you like me. I
Right.
don't give a fuck if you don't. Then stay away from me. There's no reason for it. I'm
Well,
done.
that'll do it, you know.
It'll do it. I'm
It's a
done.
big
This is my real
change.
life that I have sorrow here. I want to come here and have, like, we had a nice live tonight. We were laughing. I need like that. I feel the support. Like, I never felt like anyone cared about me, Villain. And the love and support that I have gotten this through has absolutely touched my heart in ways that I got a best friend, Jennifer, that Butch knew I needed her, and her and Butch shared a brain. I've been with that man for 40 years, Villain, and nobody shared a brain. Him and her were right about every fucking person. It takes me longer because my heart gets a little faster.
I hear that.
You know what I mean? But I don't give a fuck no more. I don't. I don't. I'm sorry.
I'm
Am I being
sure
cool?
it's life changing. Like
It
what
is.
you're dealing with is life changing. It's
But I always
feels
told
like
Butch
a
I
funny
love my
story.
sons more than him, and that's what's gonna get me through it. That's my family has been incredible. So thank you for letting me talk about it. I appreciate
No,
it.
you're good. And I think that things like there are things that should I mean, I don't understand why people don't like there are people that I didn't necessarily like. We were cool and then we had like a falling out and then her mom died and so like we were able to like certain things should be pushed to the side.
Well, and they're saying I didn't love him because I'm
Just
not crying
human.
all the
Like
time.
where's the humanity around
The
it?
vileness to say that I didn't love this man that I've been with since 16
Wait,
years
what?
old. Yes, they were. You had to see how they attacked me, villain.
Who?
I don't know. I got over like 40 messages telling me I didn't love my husband. I'm not mourning. I'm fucking a mean girl. Like it was horrible. How they attacked me.
Who did
Horrible
that?
scumbags. I guess it was Discord. I don't know. I think it was some people personal too. And I didn't answer after. I didn't give the names out. People, I gave one out to somebody that was such a snake, but I'm not doing that. I don't give a fuck. I don't have to prove that you
I would
said that
just,
shit to
yeah,
me.
and that's another thing that people don't necessarily, there's some things that should just be like,
What's
but we
limits?
don't have that here.
None.
It's
There's
weird.
none.
Right.
You see it every day of your life. I have never seen such vile mothers. I have never seen such vile, disgusting people in my life.
And you know what's crazy is it's based on what?
Money.
Is it
And
based on like what you think that the situation is?
in denial? What the fuck? Are you delusional?
Right. Like that's what really blows my mind is that nobody knows what your relationship and marriage was like.
No.
So like
And everybody met him on the side and loved him.
right, exactly. He was a vocal part of this.
Yes. So it wasn't necessary. And then I had to understand where it was coming from because Discord has to be the most vile environment for human beings.
I don't fuck with
I don't even
Discord.
have the app. I don't care.
I don't, well, so I use it for like messaging and stuff like that because you can't send screenshots through here. Like,
Right.
so I do use Discord for that, but I learned a really long time ago, like servers are just not for me.
I agree. And then you know what?
That's the thing that like separates me from a lot of people. I will never hold space for comments like that.
Right.
I think that I think that because we see so much bullshit.
You want to see the pettiness? You know how many people try to get close to Jennifer because of her friendship with you and Reaper? It's crazy to me. That shows a person's character too.
I learned a very long time ago. I get used for information. People use me for like proximity to gossip and information. So I kind of that's what I'm saying. I kind of like retreated. And I'm just in my own world, doing my own thing. I go into text live because I like the vibe in text live.
Me too, and I respect her. I respect her opinion. I do.
So I don't, but I haven't been in other lives really. I don't necessarily.
You understand the honor when you came in mine because so many people respect you, and if you came in mine, that means you respect me. That's how I feel.
But what I don't like is when I come into a live, I become the focus, and I don't like
I know that. I know you don't, but I would definitely love for you to be in a box one day and you got communicate. You communicate in other boxes with other people, so I'll put everyone you like in there. I'll try to get some.
Hi, Riley. Does it make sense? Like
Riley.
I feel like. And I feel like that's kind of rude.
But you can enjoy yourself and have a conversation. Like it doesn't have to be just about you. There'll be other people in there. I think you need that.
No, and I don't. And it's been something that I have been more and more conscious of, and I just.
Because all the stuff that comes with it, somebody like people will come in there that you don't want for sure. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can attract that too.
I don't like it. I
get
don't.
it. I understand. I do.
No,
I
but
get it.
not the chat acknowledging me. That's different. Like, you say hello, I say hello to people. You know
do.
what I mean?
You really do.
It's the I always like they always ask my opinion, and then I get drug into shit, and then it's
So
just
you know why? Because if you make a statement, too many people take it the wrong way sometimes. All the time.
especially in a chat. Hi, Bay. But it's right. You know what I mean. And hi.
But other
I
chats
don't
are
think it's like
disrespectful.
running-
Yours is never.
Right,
Never.
but sometimes I just want to be, and I think that lately it's something that I am more
Of course.
right.
You've been
Like,
doing it for a long time. I'm new to it. You understand? Like you're OG. Not calling you old because I'm not
Rebecca,
older
I'm
than you.
telling you because it never. I don't know why, right? But I could be so literal with the words that I'm saying, and it still gets twisted. So, like, what's the point? What's the actual point here? You know? Hi, Lisa.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing okay. I wanted to say something to Fran.
Okay.
I was in her live the other day when that was said about her not grieving too much. But what I have to say to that is April will be 6 years since I lost my husband.
I'm so sorry, honey. I really am.
Thank you. I grieve still today.
Oh, of course.
It never. I could grieve for. I'm sure I might grieve for the rest of my life, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah. But
Grief
what
is not linear. Nobody grieves. There is no baseline, right, for grief. It up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
I have a suggestion, Lisa. You said he's gone 6 years.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not ready for it, but it saved a friend of mine's grief counseling.
Absolutely.
I'm not ready. I'm not there to have somebody else's pain yet. I got to go through my own. I'll be ready, but when I'm ready, I'm ready. But Lisa, that will help you 110%.
Yes, and what I believe is that my husband wouldn't want me to sit here and grieve.
Absolutely.
Good. That's good. But Butchie would never want me sitting around crying. He would want me making people laugh, and that would make him happy.
Yeah, he wants me to honor him. He don't want me to keep
Right.
grieving and everything.
I understand that. I struggled with it's not my significant other, but when my mom passed.
Yeah,
right,
she was your best friend.
That was a big thing. I don't want you to cry. I don't want to have a somber funeral, right? And it was difficult. It wasn't easy, but I know that's what she'd want.
You have to kind of think what they want, because if you don't, you'll destroy yourself. They would want you to live your life.
Luckily, I do have my daughter here with me. She moved in with me because I am wheelchair bound. But she's here. She helps me. We both grieve in our own way. But it's just the point that I will never let him go. I kept the promise that he did not want to be buried.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, honey. My son's calling. Vilma, I'm going to say my goodbye. I appreciate so much your kindness to me. I truly do.
No problem.
I love you, Jersey.
I'm praying for you.
Thank
I
you.
don't think that grief is not something that somebody else can judge. It's not, and everybody is different. Everybody is different. I think that there are grief groups, almost like NA, right? I think that those are helpful. But grief, there are stages of grief for a reason. And it's not like you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go 1, 3, 2, 5, 4. But it bounces back and forth. It's grief yoga.
I have a hard time sometimes, like in February and April. February is our anniversary, and then April is when he passed. On the same day, the 8th of each month, the 8th of February is our anniversary. He passed on the 8th of April. And those are the basic 2 days that really get to me. And then like December 17th, that's my husband's birthday. He would have been 71 this year.
Yeah, the holidays are usually tough.
Yeah. But I just, I wanted to give up and give some encouragement to Fran because
You're good. I appreciate it, and I'm sorry. I know. Listen, right, Meepers. It's something. It is a loss, right? And it's something that you feel for the rest. Same, Rose. Same. And some days it's difficult. right? Like with the stuff with the ghosts coming up, my mom, January 9th will be a year that she's passed, right? So it's if somebody's telling me it's my mom, I don't, you know, like it's not something. Pet grief is absolutely rough. Grief at all. Listen, I mean grief in any way, shape, or form. Yes, it's a like you have to get used to your new normal. I hear you, be gross. I hear you.
Well, I'll drop. I
You're
just
good.
didn't
Thank
get up
you.
and get
And
some
I'm
encouragement.
sorry. Life will never go back to the way it was. I don't think it does. I think that, right, look, Elizabeth, that's what I mean. I think that, granted, there are some, you know, like your mom or your significant other, there are things that absolutely change your entire life. So it's sad, but I don't, you can't judge somebody else for, I don't know. And that's another thing that I mean about what, I don't like that stuff. So like, if I feel like the people that I'm connected to, I want to withdraw from and withdraw, I'll just shut down and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Right. Oh, I love that, Shadow Talk. And if I see people moving weird, it's just not something that I want to be connected to. You know? So I tend to hold on, it's my brother. I'm at the motor vehicle. Sorry. Right, Lisa. And that's, it was not easy. Hi, Terry. It's not easy. I don't know. It's not easy when people are judging a situation that they're not familiar with, right? I'm sorry, it's my brother. My brother is going through some registration issues in North Carolina, so he's like blowing me up. and like my mom, like that was the one thing that she was so insistent on is I don't want a sad funeral. I don't want that. I want my life to be celebrated. So it's not easy sometimes, right? Because you feel the loss. I do believe the grieving is forever. I don't think that you ever really get used to it. Like you might find a new pattern and a new normal, but it never, and it has to be worked through. It has to be. There's no, right. And that's the thing too, right? Like they don't want you depressed. I know my mother didn't. And it's a lot for me because my siblings are super young, right? So they don't have, parents. Lady Di, it was not easy. Especially like the last 3 months, like once the cancer metastasized to her brain, I think I kind of knew that it was going to be a bad thing, right? But she started having complications because the tumors in her brain were affecting things like speech. Her balance was off. Her vision started going. So there were things that it wasn't cancer related. You follow me? But it was affecting other body systems, if you will. And that was like the hardest part because you never knew, like she started getting aphasia where words were not matching what she was trying to say. So brain cancer is super unpredictable. Hi, Lady Di.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because I'm currently in that process with my mother.
I'm different as far as I'm really good at compartmentalizing,
Me
right?
also.
So I'm able to go into autopilot and
Hmm.
just do what I have to do and push all of my feelings to the side. And that's pretty much what I did, to be completely honest, and went back to therapy after after she passed, because I knew I didn't have the time, the energy to really deal with it at that point in time. So I kind of just did what I needed to do until I was through it. Does that
I,
make sense?
I've become a brat because I'm the youngest of six,
Oh,
and my mom is the oldest of 12. And
oh
so
my
I've
Lord.
become a brat, and excuse my language, I've become the asshole. No, you
Mm,
cannot come see mom.
mm,
No, it puts her anxiety because me and my husband, we sold our house. We moved in with mom when she was diagnosed. She didn't die from cancer, or she doesn't have cancer.
mm-hmm,
She has corticobasal syndrome,
mm,
which essentially takes the fingers in your brain and just shrinks them.
mm-hmm,
Over the last 2 months, she has lost her ability to walk, to speak, to eat. My husband, thank God, he is able to pick her up and walk around with her, or put her in her wheelchair and carry her around. But I've gotten to that point, and I know you talk about your mom.
mm-hmm.
That's why I wanted to ask you that this roller coaster
I wish I
is
had,
horrible.
I'll tell you what, it was one of the hardest things that I ever had to do, because it was really hard to watch her deteriorate, right? Because that's not who my mother was, right?
Yeah,
And it was hard to, some
yes,
days like I couldn't, and this is gonna sound terrible, but there was some days that like I couldn't even look at her because she was just
yeah.
unrecognizable. But
I
I
understand
wouldn't
that.
have done
I've
it
asked
any other
why.
way. Yeah. I wouldn't have changed
I've
anything
asked
about it.
why, and no, this is time that nobody else has but me and my husband with
Right.
my mom, and it's honoring her wishes. There's memories. I've got pictures of me cuddling in bed with her, and just the
Right.
smile and the bright eyes that she gets. So no, I feel that.
I know, Tony.
I hate seeing that.
Right. But it's necessary. And I think that like I would have, so in March of 2023, I used and I
Hmm.
overdosed, right?
Yeah,
If I hadn't, I've never been, I have never been the type to use and just get back up. I continue and run for a year, 2 years, right? My mother was diagnosed the week before that.
yeah,
Everything happens for a reason, right? Because if I would have
yeah.
continued using, I would have not been there, right? So I think that, and I made it through another year and a half, right? And I think that that's a big thing for me, because I have no sympathy for people that have excuses to continue using, right? Like I lost my mother,
Yeah.
my fucking 8-year relationship was flushed down the toilet, and I did not even, it wasn't even an option in my mind. So like to me, I don't
Yeah,
feel that, you know what I mean? But it's listen, it's
I
really
100%
it's
agree.
it's hard, it's draining, it's exhausting. Hi Fuzz, happy new year. I think that there was a couple of like a month or so now, maybe October, I vlogged a lot of it, and I keep it, I released a couple of them in over that time when they came up as like my memories. I released a couple of them, but I
Hmm.
was so grateful that I recorded those, right? I didn't know at the time if I would, make them public, but I have them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're for you.
And I think that
Yes.
I have, there were videos that she made before she passed for us, and I have those. And I wouldn't have listen, when it was happening, I was tired. I was exhausted physically, mentally, emotionally, just bankrupt, right? Like I had nothing to give, but I did it. And after the fact, I wouldn't change anything. It was hard, right? Like it was difficult, but it was, I wouldn't have rathered it any other way.
I agree with you. I've told my husband after she does pass, I'll probably take a sabbatical from work, and we'll just jump on the motorcycle and go south because I
Yeah.
live in the middle of the country. So.
And I think that you have to, like, I'm really big on like not having regrets, right?
Yeah.
So when it came, I was in a little bit of a different position because I had my siblings, right?
Yeah.
And so I told them, the night before my mother passed, she was hospitalized and she wasn't really lucid, but I told them, make sure you say everything you want to say. Because that to me was, I went through it with my dad. So I knew that I didn't want that. I didn't want anything left unsaid. I wanted no regrets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I tried to explain that to them. And you got to remember, I also went into responsibility mode after she passed because
You essentially became a parent again.
Right? So it wasn't, but it's not easy. It's really not easy. And but it really, like when I say that I would not have changed a thing, right? Meaning, obviously I would change the diagnosis or anything of that sort, but
being there for her.
I would not change that for anything.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean, Jen. It's draining. Like I remember just being so tired. Like if I stopped, I was going to fall over because I was physically tired. And then the emotional just made it worse.
I tease and joke and say I have an 85-year-old toddler. And that's our newborn. And that's essentially what it is. I love her to death. I wouldn't change anything except for if I could take it back where she was 4 years ago, still running around gardening and being fine.
Right.
But,
and that's the thing, right, Valpal? You hope that your kids do it with you. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Bill. And I didn't mean to make you cry.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Thank you.
You're
I'm
good.
dropping down.
What's going on in the chat? It's hard. It's difficult. Loss is not easy. Listen, it's difficult. Oh, losing your mom, especially like my mom had me at 16. Okay. So like we grew up together, it's unfortunate, right? My kids joke and they say that they'll take care of me, but they're putting their dad in a home. Right, Chrissy. And I think that that's normal. I think that that's normal, right? I think that, loss is loss. It changes you. It really does. Alzheimer's is tough. You know what's really tough is like ALS. So, right, Chrissy, I know. I feel, Yeah, I saw Chrissy. He's coming to you, right? Stop. ALS is rough. My ex-husband's aunt had ALS and it was a rough watch, Yeah, they laugh about it. My daughter's going to Greece in a couple of days. It's so unfortunate, right, Queen? It's sad. And she is, I guess we're at that age. Well, I don't know how old the people in the chat are, but I guess we're at that age. Yeah, she's excited. She's doing her winter term in Greece, cleaning out my bank account, but whatever's clever, you know? So, Ashley, Santorini, yeah, exactly, Valpal. She's draining me, bleeding me dry. I want to go to Santorini. She's going to Athens. Where are you? I'm so jealous, but I'm gonna take a once in a lifetime vacation. Yes, all for one. Good call, Joni. Thank you. I don't think I follow him on this page, actually. I should check when I get off. I'm gonna take yes. Santorini, Maldives is another one that I am dying to go for. You can't find my Facebook. Did you look? If you put it in, hold on. Oops, sorry, I just hit something. My bad. I'm trying to get back. I think if you put the dots in, it makes a difference. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe somebody that's in the chat that's friends with me there could tell you. But it should come up. I've traveled, listen, I've been everywhere, y'all. I had a friend of mine that I went to that boarding school with. He was in Africa. So I went to Africa when I was like, I guess I was like 19. I might have been 20. I used to do a lot more traveling. Obviously, I had to slow down, like when I had my kids and stuff. Hi. But I'm gonna take, my brother and I were talking about it. That's another thing. We went to Mexico. Like once my mom knew that she was terminal, her ex-husband gave us a trip to Mexico, right? So we went to Mexico. Me, my mom, my siblings, and my kids went to Mexico. And I was so grateful for that because like it was our last chance to really like make some memories. And she was on radiation. She couldn't do much, but just being there it was good. I've never been to Italy, but it's Greece. Oh, Thailand. I want to go to Thailand to play with the elephants. And my brother and I, when we sell the house, we're gonna go and take a big vacation. But she's going to Athens, my daughter. So I'm not jealous. Oh, that's awesome. I was actually watching, Snorkers, I don't mind the mountains as like, oh my God, you're getting married. You are brave. Yeah, same. I've been all over the Caribbean. You're getting married? Congratulations. You're brave. Thank you, Chrissy. He's your best friend. Well, good for you. I'm happy for other people, right? It's not for me. I was married for 17 years. I was with my ex-husband. And when I left that marriage, I swore marriage off. I was never going to get married. When I met my ex, I told him 3 things. I'm never getting remarried. I'm not having more kids. And all of my friends are guys. Yes or no? That was kind of it. Tracy, see? Oh, Meepers, I'd like to hear that. If you're happy, I'm happy. It's not for me. I always swore that if I got married, I was married for life, and that didn't work out. And then I would only get, you know why? I'll tell you why. My mom was married 3 times. right? And I was like, so I kind of, when I was a kid, swore off marriage. Right, snuck is me too. I like being alone. Hi, Janelle. Right, and that's the thing. Let's be real. To me, it's just a piece of paper, right? Like my divorce decree came with almost $300,000, and that was it. Like, what was the point? You know? Oh, Alexa, Ashley and Alexa, I'm sorry. Right, Anya, exactly. You don't gotta split your shit, right? Bonnie. I feel like you could have commitment without a piece of paper. That's just how I feel about it. Because, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just feel that I had the big wedding. I actually got married in St. Lucia. Hi, Dunk. I got married in St. Lucia. I paid for the room with the private plunge pool. Okay. It cost me almost 25 grand. I was there. I came home. I had a party. And what? Did I make money back? Not 25 grand. So like, what's the point? You know, shock face, right? I just feel that if you are, oh, see, some of them are really cute up there though. Right, sailing nuts, exactly. I just feel, for me, I don't mean for anybody else. If you like it, I love it, right? But for me, I just feel like you can have commitment without it. If you want to get, same. That's just how I feel about it. So that's what it was. It was like my wedding and a honeymoon in one, you know? That's awesome. I think I will never, I'm good. Oh, thunk. So I wasn't necessarily looking for a relationship when I met my ex. So I feel like I got tricked into it. I'm perfectly good by myself. Right, it's Naukas, thank you. I feel that. So I don't know that I'll ever be in another serious relationship again. You know? No. I mean, I have dating, but nothing. I don't want that. Really, Janelle? See, that's another thing too, right? And I know that people have different, like they do that different as well, where they, no, thank you. Thunk, I actually gotta talk to you. I'm gonna text you. Or text me so that I don't forget to tell you something. Yeah, I don't know. Well, yes, but like, I don't know. I had, nosy one, listen, it's something that I really don't care about. I'm telling you, dirty Smurf. My main account is suspended right now. Oh, the agency messaged me and I forgot. Oh, I'm sorry. Cancer really is just unforgiving. You know what I mean? I mean, at least, but that's not bad, Janelle. But do you spend his money too? You better. It is a cesspool. You're right. Nothing but losers. Annie. Oh, say, I want my money and your money. Oh. Hi, Sherry. TikTok is not a dating app. I always laugh a little bit when people use TikTok as Tinder. You know, there's a whole app for that, right? You look thirsty and fucking dehydrated using a children's app. You know what I mean? Facts, Joni. Facts. Isn't it? It's just weird to me. It's weird to me. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. And these people put like these garbage men on pedestals, and then they wonder why people, I'm telling you, snoggers, and then they wonder why they find out that their favorite creator is a dirtbag. You know? Listen, it's my backup, y'all. It's giving desperate. I'm telling you, it could never be me. It could never be me. Ever in a million years. I don't, like, I think that in my last relationship, like, people knew that I was in a relationship, but it wasn't something, it wasn't something that I've always kind of been, you know, I'm good. Yeah, listen, it's better than doing it on TikTok, because then what happens? You look ridiculous when you ran through 4 different men that were all taken. Okay? You think that makes you look good? It's not a flex at your age, babe. Yeah, same. I get it. It's not good. Dude, listen. Yeah. It's crazy to me, okay, that I'm not going to call her a woman, all right? It's crazy to me that she hopped on the internet and told people she fucked her cousin like it was no big deal. Cool Breeze, me either. Me either. I was, when I said, I mean, I knew about it, right? But when I heard it come out of her mouth, I was like it's a flex, right? She was in addiction, right? I know, shocked face. Like Victoria abused her children because she was in addiction. Addiction. Oh, Kim, you didn't know? Shocked face. She was right? She said, hold on. Good afternoon. She said people were just jealous because she fucked her 19-year-old cousin in her 30s. What the fuck? It's like, no. No. I would never scoop to that. I'm telling you. Isn't it? I know, Squishy. Listen, you think when I say that I am never, okay, I'm never surprised on this app anymore. I was like, yeah, that's why people have a problem. It couldn't be the fact that you're fucking related to the man. And let me tell you something. Listen, why does she... Why? Why did she think that was like... I think it's blood pressure or something like that. I don't know for sure. Listen, I don't give a fuck if you're my 4th cousin, okay? It's a hard pass. It's a hard pass. It's good. It's a no for me, dog. You know what I mean? What in the fuck? Why does she... Why? family wreath, period. It's a no. It is a no. I'm telling you, Chris. I'm telling you. I know. I'm telling you. It's... I couldn't believe it. When she said it, I said, what? Like, I had to go back. Even though I knew about it already, I had to go back and hear her say what she was saying because I was in such disbelief. Somebody in my comments said that is information you couldn't waterboard out of me. I don't know about y'all. I have never been so high that I fucked a family member. Got pregnant. Right. I know, Kimmy, it's so weird. So weird. It's Petrie, you're right. Right, same, Audrelyn, same. Like, let's be serious here. I also don't know why she screams placenta 400 times a day. She vowed to... Why? No, Anya. Why is she doing that? It's the only big word she knows. I know. Why is she doing it? I'm so behind, y'all. I haven't watched. I don't know, Shuni. I don't know. She said TikTok. Oh, listen. I can't even. Right. It's more annoying. Is she trying to be annoying, or do you think she doesn't have that much self-awareness? Because that's the only vibe I get. Listen, Shabbat, I can promise you, she is not. Listen to me. First of all, number one, I don't even know if she passed the GED at this point. I'm just being honest. She definitely isn't passing the NLN. It's not happening. You hear me? It is not happening. Yeah. Oh, really? I didn't go through the new ones, but if that's facts, you could report. Dunk, I don't even find myself laughing anymore. I'm like, it's almost, I used to laugh, right? But now I'm like, this is disturbing. Yeah, there's no way. She's not, I don't even think she passed the GED. She's definitely not passing the entrance exam to a nursing school. No way. No way. No way. That's what I'm thinking, Be Gross. That's exactly what I mean. No, absolutely not. Listen, I have like brains, and nursing was hard for me. Hi, Caitlin. It was not an easy education. So there is no way. There's no way. There's no way. No, that's what I'm saying, Mary. Never. So, fun fact, when she wouldn't scoop to that level, when I had to take like a medical dosage class, and math is not my strong suit. I will be the first to tell you that. I am not good with math, right? And they used to make you do the conversions, right? To like drips per hour for the IV bag. And I would get so fucking frustrated. And I would say to the professor, why do I have to learn this? We have pumps that do the work for us. Like, you quite literally just have to type the numbers in and the pump figures it out. She's like, what do you do if there's an outage? So I fucking barely passed medical dosage and calculations. So, like, there is no fucking way. There is no way she would pass that course. No way. Somebody said in the comments, nobody's giving her a letting her near a Pyxis. And I said, you're giving her too much credit to even know what a fucking Pyxis is. Yeah, there's no way. Maybe she could be. I don't think. Listen. Nope. With the merch in the bio and the why? Why? So you can do online nursing classes, but you need clinical experience, and a lot of the online programs don't give you. They don't give you clinical experience, so it's a waste. Yeah, I'm telling you, listen, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But, like, also, anatomy and physiology, can you imagine her trying to name the bones and the muscles? Exactly. She'll put too many hands on. She'd be using too many hands. Right, exactly. Medical terminology, fail. Dude, she can't even speak, like, English. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. Listen, there's no way. Metatarsals, right. Right, squishy, exactly. And I'm, listen, shot by. I think she goes back and forth with Lisa, though. Right? And also, I don't understand. Yeah, she couldn't even say villain. Let's be real, right? I don't understand why she talks about other. That's what blows my mind about her, is that she will be live talking about another scammer, and I'm like, she's trying to get people to look at those scams, but that doesn't mean that you're not a scammer. That's not how that goes. Yeah, it blows my mind, stalkers. It blows my mind. She'll be like, I'm not asking anybody for anything. And then 2 days later, she'll post a video begging. Like, what? But you know what, Val, here's how I feel about it. Here's how I feel about it. This is my opinion, right? Why are people doing that? They got to have ulterior motives, too. There's, oh my, she said grades. She said grades. She said, why don't y'all talk about the people that aren't grading? Bitch, you upgraded because you scammed the people of TikTok. You didn't do that shit yourself. What the fuck? Like, she's another one. All these accolades, right? But what the fuck did you do? I can't. This is why I need a break. Exactly. It's definitely us. I may or may not have sent the local social services proof of her receiving more income than she should be allowed to. Right, be gross. Exactly. But like, what's the point of what she's doing? Because it just fucking annoys me. Like, I can't even watch. Right, Ceiling Nuts, but why is that person doing it, is my question. Lori Jones! Like, what the fuck? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like, come on. Yeah, I can't. I can't. Also, I do want to make this clear. I know she says that she'll be in that apartment for a year, but Andy evicted her. So, there's another eviction there. So, that HUD will be pushed back more. You follow me? I don't know for sure because I've never used that type of service, right? Happy New Year. So So I can't say what their time period is, if you will, but she's got an eviction from 2022, I believe. She has a recent eviction, and she's thinking that it's got. Oh, gotcha. But Andy also legally evicted her. So there's more time there, right? Right, exactly. That's what I mean, selling nuts. But she had one, I think it was 2022. I think. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was 2022. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And I leave politics off my platform, but I think it's fucking hilarious. Okay. I don't know how the people that live downstairs from her. No, that I don't believe that. Listen, I don't believe anything that they say. Any of them. No discrimination, all of them together. You follow me? They're all the same to me. Right. PNW, I'm telling you, if I was that neighbor, we'd have a problem. We would have a problem. I would be in handcuffs by now. 100%. Like, I would have been in handcuffs probably 3 days after she moved in. Did she ever move the couch? Why don't any of them pick up their feet when they walk? You know what? Does anybody notice that? Thank you, Caitlin. Does anybody notice that? I mean, yeah, because she should have taken it in 3 fucking weeks ago, dude. But like, you left it on the floor, on the porch. Now let's remember the weather there, right? Scammer shuffle. Perfect, Andy. Perfect. The scammer shuffle. Why, hi, East. Why do they, how are you feeling? And the baby. Why do they feel, because Victoria does that too. They just don't want to, oh my goodness. I'm telling you, this year sucks, guys. Everybody that I talk to is legitimately sick. And then you get better. And then it comes back. It's the weirdest shit. It's never been, listen, I'm just about done myself. It's the weirdest shit. Right? It sucks. That's what it is, right, Elizabeth? They're too lazy to pick up their feet. So I do still have like a deep cough. It's getting deeper, actually. I can't the dog situation really bothers me. I don't understand why somebody would get a hi. I don't know why somebody would get, I don't understand why somebody would get a puppy. Okay. Puppies they need time. They need stimulation, right? Yeah, I think you're right, Dirty Smurf, to be honest. Keelan, I'm kind of stalled right now. It's like a baby. That's what I'm saying. Like and it is expensive. But listen, some of these people, they don't realize because they just hop on TikTok to get it. And people send it. Facts, Ms. Robinson. So that specific video, I know for a fact was handed to the authorities that I have contact with in Peru, because it's like there are 4 different agencies CC'd on my email thread. So it's when I send them stuff, there are other agencies seeing it. Definitely not. I agree. I know they are. They are expensive. And like, why would you do that if you're not, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's neglect, right? Like, if you can't take care of it, right, exactly. Because they need to be trained, and you know for a fact that she ain't taking that dog down those steps to go out in the freezing cold. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't believe, listen, y'all, I don't believe a single word that any of them say. Not a word. Hi, I'm about to end. I got some shit that I need to do. I do need to answer my comments because I've been slacking. If you are were in my TikTok DMs, because that's about the only thing that Victoria did by getting my account suspended, is there were 300 DMs that I needed to answer. That's my brother calling. So I'm gonna end. Don't be a piece of shit. I'm gonna